Once upon a time, far, far away in a castle, a baby laid in a crib. As night came, a fairy snuck through her window and casted a terrible curse. She turned into an ogre and was locked up in a castle guarded by a dragon, waiting for her hero, Shrek! How hunky you are this fine evening. Thy is feeling extremely well. However, I can't say the same for Fiona, as she has been lied to by her family and had her entire childhood taken from her. Not to mention that Shrek was her actual true love, even though every single movie released by DreamWorks about Shrek shows him being taken from Fiona. I am on to you, Fairy Godmother. But make sure you like this video and subscribe, and drop a comment on your opinion on this matter. Enjoy! Right now we are at 1,130 subscribers. Yay! By the end of the year my goal is 2,000 subscribers. So please subscribe, because I was able to get a new mic because of you guys, costing a pretty penny. So it's your support that makes my videos possible. Now to the video. In the first Shrek film we are introduced to this fairy tale by Shrek.
Once upon a time there was a lovely princess.
And this happens basically in every movie. It says Fiona was cursed and placed in a castle with the help of the Fairy Godmother, because that's the best thing to do. Place her in this random castle guarded by a dragon for 20 years. It's also a bit weird how you have a castle just in case of this. Yeah, there's something going on here. And the fact that she helped Harold, who was the king, transform from a frog to a human to marry his wife, who was a princess, and make him ruler of Far, Far Away, and then proceed to threaten to take it all away in the second film for not giving Fiona's hand in marriage to Prince Charming and getting rid of Shrek. And even does at the end of the film, even though she died. And a witch wasn't even mentioned in any of the storybooks. We just assumed that there was one. All it said is that she was cursed one day for no reason. But the fact that her turning Fiona into an ogre and making her waste that much of her life in a tower while brainwashing her with this fairy tale bullcrap aligns so incredibly well with her plan that it simply must be her. Fairy Godmother loves Charming and wants him to marry Fiona, because ogres are so not today. They were so yesterday. She loves her son and wants the best for him. And if you say that, then you can go to Sunday school, my guy, because though that's kind of correct, it's more of a C plot for her. Her main intention is if Charming was able to marry Fiona, it would make her family royal, as he would eventually become king, and she would have indirect control of what happens in the kingdom. So yeah, she was never good. When she turned Harold into a human, she did that as it would help her secure her son as king. But I must say, locking Fiona in a tower is quite stupid. If Fairy Godmother wanted to, she could have cured the curse easily. I know that because she does it to Shrek. Well, technically Shrek does it to himself, but she made that potion he used. So if she can turn a completely different species into another, then she could have definitely fixed her. And how did she know that she needed true love's kiss? Seems awfully similar to the potion Shrek used. How did the king not think to ask her about this? I mean, unless he knew from the beginning. Stay with me, because this theory is starting to heat up. Do you think Fairy Godmother pulled a Grunkle-Stiltskin on Harold? Because while they were riding in the flying carriage in the second movie, she mentions a deal they made and she threatens to go back on her end.
You see, we made a deal, Harold, and I assume you don't want me to go back on my part.
Indeed not.
So already she admits that this deal goes beyond her being locked in a tower. Because no way they made this deal as soon as they arrived, because Charming was already sent to rescue Fiona, and it seems like he went through a lot to do so. So it seems like they made this deal long before Fiona was even born. Because knowing Fairy Godmother, she doesn't seem like the kindest person. She's more like a kinder version of Grunkle-Stiltskin, where she delivers what was promised with clear transparency, but always wants something back, which is normal in a contract deal. And in this case, It's the king's daughter. So from that, the king must have known about this plan to take his daughter away. But something that doesn't make him a bad guy, in my opinion, is that I don't think he expected it to take 20 years to save her. I know this because we see them about to make a deal with Grunkle-Stiltskin in the 4th movie, which would have freed their daughter, but they wouldn't have existed, and she would have become some woman warrior, Boudica type style. So I can sympathize with Harold here, but it's clear that he had the same mindset as Fairy Godmother, even if he wasn't evil. I won't count the killing Shrek thing, because he did that out of fear of losing his human self, as Fairy Godmother told him to get rid of Shrek. Instead, I will count my favorite scene in all of the Shrek movies, the dinner scene. In this scene, Shrek is being a human, and that never goes well. So he drinks soap and water thinking it was soup while eating. What is that? Like frog eyes or snails? While giving a beautiful smile to Harold as everyone stares happily. And not to mention, this is my favorite Shrek says donkey scene in the entire quadriplegic.
What? I know you ain't talking about the swamp.
Donkey.
Well, now there's 5 movies, which is gay, but maybe they'll change the designs, who knows. It got delayed, so maybe. But in this scene, Harold is really pissed off at Shrek because he wants to marry his daughter. And why wouldn't he be? I would be pissed if a black ogre married my daughter. Almost got caught there by the Twitter police. That was close. So in a cruel way, Fiona's father lied to her, which is sad. But stay with me as we move to part 3. Why did it take Charming so long to get Fiona when hundreds of knights got there before him and died? Well, I don't want to ruin it for you, but if Charming got there before Shrek did, then he would be dead. Think about it. Why wouldn't Charming come to save Fiona in the 4th Shrek movie? We can see on this wall how much longer she had to wait just for nobody to come save her, which pushed her to escape herself rather than waiting any longer. And she also drops the whole fairy tale nonsense she was taught from Fairy Godmother, who is actually still alive in the 4th movie because Shrek was never there to kill her. But maybe we can see what happened to him, or maybe we already know what happened to him. In the first Shrek film, as they are running through the castle, we see a pot and whoa, a cookbook. But not just any cookbook, a human cookbook. And hold on, that pot looks super familiar. Is that Fairy Godmother's pot? Okay, maybe it's just to feed the dragon. But then what was Fiona eating? There seems to be a lot of dead bodies in the castle. Wait, she ate Prince Charming. And that's the end of the theory. Charming was burned alive and Fiona ate him in Shrek 4. I hope you enjoyed this theory. Took longer than usual, 3 weeks long actually, and I kind of ruined a month-long streak of posting once a week consistently. Hopefully by next week there will be another video. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe. Share the video because it helps me out a lot, and goodbye.